Yes, up we go. This could be anything. Somebody stop us. We'll run out of the stadium. Welcome to the latest edition of Rugby League Insider. We're doing it all thanks to the very good people at FanaticsTV. Live on the YouTubes, launch into the comments, give us your feedback, give us a like. And of course, we will get to all of that over the course of the next week. Round 24, run and done. Some more twists and turns in the greatest game of all. And along for the ride to dissect it all today, the army of one Anthony Watmough. How are we, mate?
Good morning, mate. Good. Nice weekend at home, watching all the footy, so can't complain.
Best time of the year, isn't it? Like, we're not far out from September, and every game matters.
Oh, it does, and mate, everyone's still in there with a chance within that top 10. So, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, they have, and we've seen the Cowboys get rolled by the Eels. Controversial circumstances Saturday night. We're going to get to that, but that does mean that a couple of those sides lower down on the ladder have still just got the fuel gauge flashing. Matty, Vautin, you here, Cobber?
Yes, I made it.
A couple of technical difficulties on the way in.
Yeah, turns out that when it rains just a little bit in Sydney, everyone's driving capabilities just go out the window, apparently.
Mate, what about your salad? It's
you like
flourishing.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a shout out to Matthew Mastriani, who actually cut it for me on Thursday. Now, I only say it because he's a big listener to the show, and he pipes it. He pipes it into the shop while people are getting. So he tortures people.
He's getting the clip. We wonder what he does for work. He's an influencer.
He tortures people by piping it into the shop.
He's one of the greatest Manly fans out there, old Matty. So
is he? Well, shout out to the big fella, mate.
The old Italian mafia down there. So
a little bit of that.
We'll be keeping him on side.
They own everything on the beaches, the Italians. So you got to keep. If you need to rent a shop, though, you go to them because they don't give you a discount. So they hold you hostage. So they're good down there.
Well, we'll be keeping them on side.
Can we just bring up that Matty was the first person in history to be late twice in one morning?
Yes.
So he was late to the start, and then he gave you a time he's going to be. He was late again.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I said 10 minutes. No, it was actually 15.
Yeah,
so 20.
20. Oh.
Yeah.
Mate, talk us through Matty's work up on top. Like
It's, no, I just sit down and he says, "How do you want it?" I just say, "Whatever," and that's what he does.
Wow.
I don't really give him any instructions. It looks good though, right?
Mate, it's flying. Yeah,
Thank you.
Absolutely flying.
Speaking of which,
I just tell him get the hairdryer out and blow it off. So
yeah, I just got to get the cue ball rocking, mate. I just got to get the cue ball rocking.
You're missing your mo. What happened to your mo?
Where's
your mo?
Mate, just a fuck up, just an accident. So I went to give it a trim last night. No grog or anything involved. And I've gone bang and just took fucking half of one side off.
Shows how good we are when we have to say no grog involved in this one. It's all me.
Well, mate, with my form sheet. Hey, still 1-0 from last week.
What are you talking about?
Still 1-0 from last week. But we've got a whole show to get through.
I'm still waiting for Kenny to get back to me too. So.
Yeah, well, don't worry. He won't miss.
Don't worry.
I'm sure he's in the queue. Now, as we touched on, we always do flying and fizzing on a Monday morning. Flying out of the weekend for me, boys, was Choc's old sparring partner, Daly Cherry Evans. Look, you got to give him a rap.
He's mine.
We
should have communicated this.
That's what happens when you run late.
Get a new one, Matty.
That's what happens. Think quick.
And the host gets to go first too.
He does,
I got to give Cherry a rap. I haven't been his biggest fan throughout his entire career, but I've got to say Thursday night in the biggest game of the season, absolutely delivered in spades. So big plaudits there. Choc, what about for you?
Flying, I'm going the Wars. They obviously listened to the show. Obviously, they had a good game from me when I challenged them about seeing how they're going to turn up this week. And, mate, they really stuck it to the Broncos, you know. So, look, no, taking nothing away from the Wars, from the Broncos, but, mate, the Wars were just heads above them. You know, they got an origin pack there. The Broncos still had a bit to play for because they don't want to finish at Bondi. They can still finish last, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
so
the Dragons won.
Yeah, they got a they had plenty to play for.
Yeah.
So it's the Warriors, mate. Great listeners of the show, I hear, because They took what I said. So
yeah, they are. I just called a couple of people before trying to get a steer on whether Jet Cleary is a chance of getting named this week. Because Luke Metcalf, the halfback, did his hammy kicking that goal. And he's pretty much next man up. I don't think Tamari Martin's going to be right yet. So I might get a phone call while we're jibber-jabbering on air. If I do, I might take it because we could get a steer.
Put him on speaker. Put him on speaker.
No, under the radar. Desi, under the radar. Matty, what about for you, mate?
Yeah, just off the top of my head, I'll go with the Dragons. The Dragons, they've made one of the great comebacks in their history, in their short history. I think they've been tremendous toward the back end of this year. In particular, Terrell Sloan. I think he's going to be a huge loss for them, huge loss for the game. He actually mentioned on the panel yesterday on the 9 coverage that it's actually a chance of flipping that decision for him to go to England. There is a chance he might stay, but a very small chance, I think he said. So it'd be cool if he could stay. I think he's a premier winger in the game. I don't know about fullback, but he's been awesome, as have the Dragons.
Yeah, he's certainly a try scorer. Good mover too, his footwork,
slick,
his speed, fantastic.
Do you think when he goes to England, if they do put him at fullback, the game's a little bit slower, it's not as defence orientated? Sorry, a little bit of more open room. He will go over there, learn his craft a bit better, and come back a better player? Because you'll be able to, when you go over there, it's physical, but they're not the line speed and the bounces in there to spook you. They more worry about getting hold of you. Once they get hold of you, then getting numbers in and wrestling you. But their defense, like the game's faster because it's more open. They're not, but the defense just sits back and, they got the other different rules over there where he'll be able to just get confident and grow at that fullback role. So will it be like a Matt Duffy where he comes back a better player?
He's still young. He's still young enough to go over for however many years he's signed for and come back in a few years' time and be picked up.
Is that true that the NRL wanted to buy that?
Super League. Yeah, absolutely. They put a release out over the course of the weekend that the NRL are in fair income serious talks. They've submitted an initial offer and proposal. It's now a negotiation. Super League's on the bones of its arse, right?
Oh, yeah, they're struggling.
Without diving too deeply into it, they are struggling, and the game over in Europe and England is going to need some help. And I think the NRL, Peter V'landys can see an opportunity. He's flush with money off the back of the $5.3 billion broadcast deal that he's just negotiated. And I think he can also see that it's going to benefit the game globally if we give them a hand while they're struggling a little bit. But to answer your question, Choc, about young Sloan, mate, I reckon you bang on because you look at Matt Duffy, Jai Fields, another young fellow who went over there, hadn't really been able to reach any great heights here. Bevan French, mate, they go over and they absolutely carve it. I think it'll suit him down to the ground.
Well, that just goes to show how different the games are because you never see like the Burgess brothers dominated.
Yep.
And forwards can come over and do it, but outside backs haven't succeeded to the levels that the Aussie fullbacks and wingers and that have gone over and succeeded.
Yeah.
The packs are different because they're mongrels. They're physical. They're hungry over there. They just want to hurt people.
Yep.
But you see the outside backs and the halves, none of them have really succeeded. Because the game is so much harder and more intense here.
Yeah.
The halves aren't used to playing with the time they're used to. So do you use it as a stepping stone for the juniors? You send them over there, like learn their craft over there to come back. Because they're here and they're not getting much time. And why wouldn't you use that as more of a loan sort of system? We get them used. Did Melbourne do it with a couple of kids a few years ago?
Melbourne did it with Harry Grant when he went to the Tigers.
Yeah. Did Brody Croft go over and come back?
Brody Croft did go over. That wasn't as a loan, though. No, that wasn't as a loan. I think he got a man of steel, Brody Croft, over there. No, he went over as a loan. Not as a loan. He went over there after his time at the Broncos finished, and obviously he's had great success since. But yeah, I think there's definitely there's legs in it if they did want to go that way. Now fizzing, the poor old West Tigers, black and gold never fold. But
I love when you have to go after your team.
Tough biscuit at the moment, mate. Tough biscuit at the moment. He's
biting down on the mouth guard, getting this one in.
8 straight losses, and there's not a lot of light at the end of the tunnel. I'm going to say Jarome Luai fizzing. Look, in fairness, he put his hand up and took accountability for the way that Moses Sully went through him just before halftime. That was a critical try in terms of the context of that game. I got no beef with Jarome in terms of all the money that he's earning. I wish him all the best, and I think he's done fantastically well for himself and his family. Mate, I think he's the most overpaid player in the history of the game, based on what we saw yesterday and based on what we've seen over the course of the last couple of months. If you go back to when he left Penrith, Ivan Cleary said he wasn't sure whether Jarome was going to be able to do it on his own. Well, I would argue that I don't think he's proven it that he can.
It's been proven true.
Yeah.
It's definitely been proven true.
So,
we look at
for all the talk about how he was a great influence at the club when he first arrived, and I got no doubt that he was. He changed their training habits, and you can't win 4 comps and not learn how to be an absolute elite professional. But just ever since he's done the private jet and the PNG signature, it's a shit show.
Is it time to bench him?
I would have done it a while ago. I would have done it. So when he stupidly dropped Dewey, I would have done it then. And I know you disagreed at the time.
At the time I did, yeah.
But I'll tell you why I would have, because Javon Andrews is a left-hand side player who plays 5'8" in New South Wales Cup. Benji moved him to the right and put him in the halfback jumper on debut in Canberra.
Yeah,
it was madness. But anyway.
So when we're talking about the teams getting better and teams not getting better under a certain coach, it's clear to see that they're not getting better under Benji.
No.
And I know I said the 5-year plan because it's you got to give it, but 3.5 years and they've actually gone backwards.
Yeah.
They haven't been nowhere near. Like, even young teams, you can start well. Like, you can bounce. Like, Manly's a perfect example now where we're at with the roster. And we played to the best of our ability on Friday night until we couldn't anymore, you know. And then you get run down by the better teams. They're just getting run down. Like, they're not starting hard. They're not starting fast. They're not starting physical. So, I don't know. Like, they need to try something. And, like, they've tried to be loyal and stick to Benji's, you know, but he has to try something different.
Just on their actual attack, they just look flat. They look like they're out of ideas. They're not running with intent, with purpose. They got a couple of easy tries yesterday, but yeah, they just look like they want the end of the season today.
Absolutely. Where I give Benji a bit of latitude, Choc, right? So this is his second full season as a head coach.
So 2.5.
He did have, like, there was another year where Tim Sheens was technically the head coach, but really Benji was calling the shots, right? Because Sheensy by that stage had primarily taken a back seat. I feel for him with what happened with Jarome, because they went after Jarome. Jarome gave him every impression that he was, even though he had the options in the contract, he was in for the long haul. It was team first. It was club first. He loved Benji. Benji was his idol growing up. Now, I get PNG weren't even in the comp when he signed, and there's other circumstances that mean that Jarome had his head turned. So I kind of give Benji a little bit of latitude there. He has been done over badly in that respect.
But he's a fucking 5'8". You know?
Yeah, but he's the leader. He's the fucking
Well,
captain.
then you got to put people around him. You know, like, he's only as good as the people that he plays off the back of.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to bust that line. You know, he needs a pack around him. They got a huge area they can choose from, but they're just choosing the wrong people to put around him.
Yep.
You know, that decision didn't help, but that's not helping them tackle through the middle. You know, it's not helping them run hard, run the ball hard. Look, they're decisions that they haven't got right over the last 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, and he's been in a position where he can change that. And he's at the point where he should be turning the corner, but he's nowhere near turning that corner yet.
No.
You know, like, they were okay to start the year, and they were winning some games, and the talk happened, and that decision happened to get on the private jet. But how long can you blame that private jet? Like, they've obviously got their head around it. Their pack's not winning games.
No.
Like, they're obviously selecting the wrong people for the type of play that Benji wants. He's off the cuff type of player. To do that, you got to get on the front foot. You got to win that battle of attrition in the middle, and get on the front foot and play the ball. get to your marks and get to your spots and get out and get on the front foot. That's the type of player Luai is, because that's what he done at the Panthers. They just ran hard for him.
Yep.
You know, they got their spot players and tackled hard and ran hard, but they don't have them hard workers. You know, there's no real, like you look at the tackle. We looked at the tackle count from the Dragons boys. Like they're all in the high 30s and low 40s.
Yeah.
And still running the ball, getting their 10 carries and getting their 100 metres, you know. So you can see what good recruitment does with a club in their juniors. Yeah. And you can see what poor recruitment does to your first grade squads. And they're probably up there with Manly where we're at as a pack. You know, I'm always never going to not compare my team with other teams, because that's where they're at as a club. You know, people might think I'm a little bit biased, and I am, but that's where the poor recruitment and retention comes in, and you just can't pick the players you want. So he's been there long enough.
Well, this is a challenge for Benji, mate, he's put this side together.
Yeah.
Like, this is the side that he wanted. That's why I say I do give him a bit of latitude around the Jarome decision, because he was planning on, you know, like you had the Galvin circus last year, then you got the Jarome circus this year. There's been a lot of off-field curveballs, and they've contributed to them. Like, they've had their hands on the steering wheel a lot, and then they've ended up getting done over. I think too often, unfortunately for the Tigers, too often since they've been a joint venture club and they came into the competition in the year 2000, they've been used as a doormat. Clubs have just treated them like a transit lounge where they go there for superannuation or a payday or whatever it is. They're certainly not a destination club, and they're going to struggle in the recruitment space now. With Papua New Guinea with their Rivers of Gold checkbook, and with Perth, and then all the other sides that are also looking to improve come November 1. Look at what the Dragons have done to their roster over the course of this season.
So does that go to show you've just got to invest in your juniors more?
Absolutely.
Like, you need
and
to
got
get
the nursery.
Yeah, they've got a great nursery. Yeah. But yeah, so that just goes to show that them, we'll call them a unicorn front row or a unicorn half, them guys, they're going to be few and far between now. Like, they're not there anymore, because now instead of you got the 2 extra clubs and you got Papua New Guinea free money, that's like the ace up your sleeve. So
free money, I love that.
Free money. Well, mate, I'm sick of paying tax too. Can we get this show over there? So I stop paying tax.
We'll speak to Woz and we'll see if we can get over.
Let's go to the offshore account, Woz. Let's go.
Worsby. I like that. Righto, in terms of your fizzing shot.
Could you imagine you locked in a compound?
In a compound. That'd be fun.
Oh, mate, we wouldn't last 7 days.
It'll be the funny farm. Like, we'll be climbing the walls.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
You guys would love it. We'd all love it, wouldn't we?
We'd have the red tea from the beetle nuts. Fizzing for me. All right, mine's the Cowboys.
Yep.
I don't understand how you couldn't be up for that game. How they're not up for these games is beyond me. And like, they just needed to win one. One, and it takes the pressure right off. I couldn't get my head around it. Like the Parramatta, no disrespect, but like where they're at and what the Cowboys had to play for, the opportunity. Yeah. They're just not getting it.
Well, look at the Cowboys roster. Jesus, it's a good roster. Like Scott Drinkwater, Tommy Chester's a young gun on the rise, Jackson Purdue's a star. Then you got Reed Marnie, you got Tormalolo, you got Helam Lukey, Ruben Cotter. They're all very good players.
Even their
in comparison.
Hess, Griffin Neem, like these are some really handy front rowers.
100%. And then you compare that to what
I reckon it's ridiculous. I can't get my head around it because like you just went through their team. And for them not to turn up and put a performance on and really just like, this is where we're at, let's go.
Especially when with that performance, Choc, right. that can cement finals.
Yeah, they would have cemented it.
September.
That just takes one foot off the pedal for them, where they may get a chance to the last round. The rest of you people, now they're fighting to stay in there. Yeah, you know they got the bye this week. Playing for a lot with that. That's a 4-point game for them.
Yeah. Yep. Matty, fizzing.
Let me preface this by saying I love rugby league. I really do. But in my opinion, and you guys alluded to this earlier, I think the season is just far too long. I just think it feels like we should be going to the finals now. It feels like the top 8 is kind of sorted. Okay, I know the Bulldogs can still technically make it.
So can the Raiders,
Are you serious?
They've got to buy. Yeah, they've got to buy. And if they win their last 2 games,
Really?
the results go their way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I think either way, for me, the top 8 is pretty much sorted.
Yeah.
And even that 7th and 8th spot, I think they're probably going to bow out in the first week. They never really, I know we can all point at the Parramatta run from 2009, but they never really do anything. This is going to be fought out between the top 4 sides. Maybe 5th and 6th can do something as dark horses. But yeah, these last 3 weeks, I think they're just a bit of a drag. We're also starting to see a lot of injuries pile up, and there's going to be a bunch of unnecessary games. I know, great opportunity to test new rules and whatnot, but do we need new rules? No. I don't think so. For me, the season should be 22, maybe 23 rounds, and let's just go for quality over quantity.
Cash is king, mate.
I get it.
Yeah,
I understand.
Free money, cash is king.
I'm shouting into a void right now. I get it, but whatever.
You know what? We sit there and we bitch and moan in the off season that there's no footy.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
100%.
What do you do?
Yeah. Look, no, I get it from a bigger picture point of view, mate.
Well, yeah, we're fatigued, but like we start starving for footy in a few months,
mate.
like in a month or so.
Got to get into cricket.
100%. Well, by the time you bang the finals in as well, that means the actual full-on season goes for 31 weeks, right? So that's well over half the year. Then you got trials, then you got other
World Cup this year.
Yeah, you got representative games all going in on top of it. The schedule is jam-packed. But we'd piss and moan if we didn't have it all.
It's true. Yeah.
And we'd be blowing up about the cricket schedule, having too many games jammed into it. Now, title race twists and turns. 3 games of the regular season are remaining, and I'll tell you, it is really starting to hot up the pointy end of the competition. The Chooks are cooking after rolling through Penrith. Up the Waz, as Choc touched on, put on a clinic against the Broncos, but they lost Luke Metcalf to a hamstring injury and changed Nickel Klukstar to suspension.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, so there's a couple of big twists.
For
that was for the tackle on Reece Walsh.
Yeah.
Walsh is out for fucking 8 weeks.
Yeah.
He's got to have
I
thought they'd take that into account now, like 2 weeks for that.
Supposedly they do, because they flipped the Munster decision last week for the tackle on Taniela Paseka. And Paseka's still out at the moment, and somehow Munster got it downgraded from a 2 to a 1, whereas Chan's got it with
you think that would go up? You think that would increase the penalty, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, he got a grade 3. So aside from getting referred straight to the judiciary, which did you ever get referred straight there? I don't think you did.
No, I did not.
Had grade 1, 2, and 3 covered though. Aside from getting referred straight there, which is obviously always for very serious incidents. Grade 3 is as strong as you can go.
What's the biggest suspension you ever got?
A couple of weeks, I think.
I don't think you were there.
No, you're a good boy, were you?
I was a good boy, mate. I was a good boy. Probably nearly got more off the field than on the field. So
yeah.
I think the famous, that was Glenn Stewart, was the Zorba one, the Zorba judiciary case, where he's walked.
Danny DeVito.
Oh shit, that's good.
Wow.
That's good. Right, where were we? Up the Waz.
Oh, can I ask?
Yes, Matty.
Reece Walsh is going to be gone for 8 weeks.
Yep.
Kevy's already kind of said he's going to be the fullback for Australia.
He was the incumbent. Yeah.
Do we think if it's not him, who do you guys have?
It'll be Edwards. Edwards in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
He was the incumbent.
Yeah. You're right.
So I don't understand how they even changed that decision last year, to be honest with you.
So what happened? Did Dylan Edwards go on the Ashes tour?
Yeah, I think he was just I think he was travelling.
Right.
But
he didn't play.
Yeah. Look, Reece, to be fair, at the back end of last year, I can see why they had to pick Reece. Like, he won the Clive Churchill medal. He went on a run of form that the only time I've ever seen anything like it was Jared Hayne when Parramatta made that grand final in 2009. In terms of individual genius form streaks.
Hold on, let me blow my nose. I'll come back here, hoops. I say bullshit.
Great.
Just for this week, can you try and avoid adjusting the mic?
Oh, yeah, sweet.
It's all good. It's not a big issue. Thank you.
Righto. Yeah, bullshit, hoops.
Why?
Because he was the incumbent last year for the last $5 grand for 6-7 years. He's been the number one fullback. He bided his time with Tedesco.
Yeah.
He got his opportunity, and then Kevy took it away from him. I think it was a bullshit decision that they preempted, and they had him already locked in. And
I don't think they preempted it, Choc. I disagree because, mate, the run of form that Walsh went on, and look, he isn't. You know what? He actually to be
for 1 year. It was 1 year.
Yeah, I know, but it was.
Edwards has done it for 7.
He won the Clive Churchill Medal and carried the Broncos to a premiership. That's always been the go. Even when you played
that this year, no, I thought it was more the stalwart gets the position.
Often,
there's been times that players didn't deserve to get picked, and they did. Yeah, but it was an 8-week run.
End of
he
season
wasn't
tours.
brilliant. He wasn't brilliant throughout the year. He'd been called. He'd been
Well,
scolded. Remember?
Did he? What happened? Did he play?
Remember,
Origin?
he'd been scolded because
Last year?
he was rocks or diamonds.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he comes out, and I think Kevy called it early. Said he's going to be the fullback. He's number one. But I hate the fact that Edwards didn't get his position.
Yeah.
Because he waited. He waited. He bided his time.
Yep.
And what he done it the right way. He went the long way about it. Play on the wing. Do this. Do that. And he just fucking gave it to him, and then said he's the incumbent. We're going to give it to him again.
Yeah.
I think that's
bullshit. So what about last year? Edwards was the incumbent.
Yep.
Why didn't he get it? If he's saying now it's all about the incumbent, it's bullshit.
I think last year, right, because of and this is why I will be prepared to defend Walsh in this instance, mate, that form run that he went on. I've heard champion players, retired players who played a lot of representative football say they rated it as one of the greatest individual form runs of all
get
time.
it, but I'm a loyalty
and I will
sort of person.
No, I get that. And I will say this too, even when you were playing, right, finals form does matter for overseas tours. I have seen players go on runs, right, and then end up getting picked for Australia.
Yeah, but the Panthers were in the finals.
Yeah, I know.
They weren't waiting. Like, he was still game ready. You know, like, would they get to the second round or would they go first round?
No, they were out. They made the prelim.
Well,
Brisbane had to
go.
roll over the top of them in the prelim.
Yeah,
There
just.
you go.
Yeah.
I think Kevy made a bit of a mistake earlier this year by saying Reece would be the fullback, because Reece at the time was not showing great form, and he hasn't really all year. And I even if he'd have been healthy for the upcoming World Cup, I probably wouldn't have had him as my fullback.
No way.
I would have had Dylan Edwards for sure.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm a massive Dylan Edwards fan.
Yeah.
And absolutely he deserves, well, with no Reece available. Well, you know what, though? I'll tell you what, it's going to be a fucking coin flip now that I think about it. Tedesco.
Yeah.
Tedesco.
Yeah, that's the other
right?
guy.
And they're flying, right? So they're every chance after rolling Penrith Thursday
there you
night.
go, yeah.
They're every chance of making a grand final, right? Mate, if they win and Teddy's Clive Churchill medal winner, you got the same problem.
I reckon the 6 jersey's also up for grabs as well. I know Cameron Munster's he's the incumbent and he's been the mainstay for, however many years, 6 years or whatever. But I think that's up for grabs as well, that 6 jersey.
Who else you got in the frame there? Moses or who?
Yeah, I'd say Moses. Why not Daly Cherry Evans?
Well, if we're going on form,
If we're going on form.
Nah, I couldn't go back to Daly again.
It'll be the old geriatrics team.
I couldn't go back to Daly after. Well, let's see what, to be fair, we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks and then in September. But I'd be surprised if they went that far back now.
Sammy Walker?
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Kevy, love ya. He's got some big decisions to make.
He watches and listens. I'm sure he'll take it all on board.
Mate, regular, avid watcher on the YouTubes. He loves it, Kev. Absolutely loves it. Now, the Sharks have shit the bed again against Canberra. Braydon Trindall out with a dislocated shoulder early in the piece.
What's the prognosis? Do we know where it's at?
Well,
scans today or something?
Well, he dislocated it, went straight back in, but
it's still probably a month.
Yeah.
You got to strengthen everything back up, rehab that. Probably a month at best, I'd say. Probably more to 6 to 8 weeks, I reckon.
Yep. Where you got the Sharks, Choc? Because, last week rolled in the local derby against the Dragons, and now Saturday at home against the Raiders side. Look, they are Manly's still mathematically a chance. If they win every game, Manly's actually got a good for and against.
We do.
If they win every game and other results go their way, they can make it. It's not your auntie being your uncle and all that sort of comparison. It is actually fucking possible. But where have you got Cronulla, Choc?
Yeah, again, look, the question about them last year was they couldn't do it because they couldn't beat a top 4 team. They've beat the top 4 teams now, but it's just they've knocked them all off within the year.
Oh yeah, I
don't know about that.
The
Panthers.
Well, obviously, yeah. Well, they've
beaten the
obviously
Roosters though.
been better than what they were last year.
Yes,
but I don't think Hines gets them there at 5'8".
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, but in saying that, like, I'm happy to be proven wrong. Everyone's been, all the Cronulla fans after they played Manly, a depleted Manly, were in the comment section. So I don't see them. I think they're a honest, a good halfback away, or a good 5'8" away from the comp. I think their forward pack is big and mobile, but I believe they can be found out, like with when you go through the middle and you get the quick play the ball, especially now that the 6 agains are few and far between. I thought the big pack that bullies other teams and runs hard and tackles hard and gets to play the ball. So I think the more the wrestling teams are coming out now, and I reckon it's starting to expose the Sharks a little bit. So I don't know. I think they're a little bit too big and a little bit too outskilled in the halves, especially with Trindall being out, to have a run in the finals.
I think they peaked a little too early. Everyone's saying that loss from last week against the Dragons. Not everyone, but a lot of people are saying that loss to the Dragons last week was probably the loss they needed going into the back end of the year.
Yep.
No one's saying that after they lost to the Raiders, though. Everyone's kind of given the gummy Sharks treatment.
I did see the gummy.
They,
I was on our
yes, on the run sheet.
tell me it ain't true.
No.
They look like a team that's ready for the finals to start today. If the final started today, I think they'd be a good shot. But with another 3 weeks to go, I reckon their form's just going to go further and further in the toilet.
Right.
And Braydon Trindall, they need him. They absolutely, if they want to win the comp, they absolutely need him. So yeah, huge loss.
Yeah, Trindall. I mean, we saw it there Saturday. Nicho Hines had the remainder of that game at home. You're never going to get a better scenario than that to get your confidence and show that you can do it on your own. The talk has been all year that Braydon Trindall is the main man. I think they can win a comp if Braydon Trindall's fit.
If he's there,
yeah,
100%.
Well, he sees the game unfold in front of him.
Yes.
Whereas
Hines
is he's more a structured player and will try to get to a point to work you over to get back for the big shift.
Yep.
Whereas Trindall will just watch the game unfold in front of him and take his opportunities.
Instinctual.
Well, where Hines will sit out wide and wait for the play to set up and go through each individual step, I don't think he's got the vision of a good 5'8" or a good half. He does not really play what's in front of him. I don't think he's confident enough. I think he just wants to use his big forwards to get him on the front foot, to get to the point of the field that they need to play the footy that big shift or that play that they need. And then it's either a show and go or hit Trindall out the back.
Yeah.
You know, he's the one that's got the vision to do it. I think, I'm adamant that he's a 13 and he'll be better off. Like, you look at the try he scored a couple of weeks ago, he just ran through the middle because he got tired forwards there.
Didn't you say he wasn't a 13 the other week? You
I
did.
said I reckon he's better suited to be a 13, but he couldn't handle the toughness of the 13.
That's right, yeah.
And I don't know where his best position is. I don't know. I don't think he's fast enough and explosive enough off the mark, to see something and take it. He's a bigger body. So
he's a 6. The thing is that the whole year they've just had the wrong numbers on. Braydon Trindall has actually been the 7 and Nicho Hines has been the 6.
Yep. And it got shown up Saturday.
Yeah.
Game starts in 2. Got to be quick.
You need something quick? I got something blistering. 5 for 25 from PointsBet. It's like hot sauce, but for sport. 5 taps, and it's on.
Yeah, that's hot.
Aw, thanks, babe.
5 for 25, only available on PointsBet. Yeah, that's built different. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Now, the night's humming, guaranteed to go from the wooden spoon to September. You got to tip your hat to them, Choc, what Justin Holbrook and that side have been able to produce this season.
Yeah, it's bloody fantastic what you do when you're looking towards a rebuild or you're looking towards making things better at your club. A lot of young kids that are coming through that. I think they won the Harold Matthews or SG Ball.
Made the GF.
They won it last
the Roosters,
year. They won it last year. This year, competitive again.
Led 24-0, I think, this year, and the Roosters run them down.
It just goes to show, and I think yesterday I seen old Hannah Clare up in Newcastle. One of the kids made his debut that come through the pathway system. So it just goes to show that the investment in your juniors at a junior level makes a big difference to what happens at the top. And they've been heavily investing in it over the last probably 5 years.
Since Peter O'Sullivan got up there.
Yeah, and he's one of the best. So, and you hear the stories about him just at clubs at gala days and things like that.
Yeah.
Very aggressive, like to get them to the club.
Yep.
Like very upfront with the parents.
Yep.
Not aggressive in a bad way, but they know what they want and they go and get it.
Yep.
They don't fuck around and sugarfoot and try to save $1 here and there and try to nickel and dime them. They'll just get them. They'll pay them what they're worth and get them there. No matter what it costs them. They want good functioning juniors.
Yep.
And they don't just try to get the bargain buys. They'll go and invest heavily in what they want. Whereas, you can see other clubs out there just want to tick the boxes and say we've got a junior system and then worry about bringing imports in. We'll call them imports because, you're importing them into your club and into your system.
Wasn't sure where you're going with the imports.
The old red ones or red or green.
Now, on Peter O'Sullivan, where I'll give him a big rap is so I think it was the Australian schools side recently.
Yep.
I think Newcastle had up to half a dozen representatives in that. Also, he set up similar to what the Sydney Roosters have done with their academy, right? So they've now got something similar at Newcastle. That's new as of only this year. I'm looking at the side that beat the Gold Coast yesterday. Cody Hopwood is a young bloke who's come through, who's an example of the success in that junior system. You look at Fletcher Sharp, who starred yesterday. He's another one who's out of Cessnock that they've brought through.
And I'll tell you, Fletcher Hunt from up there as well?
Yeah, he's from Warren, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
I'll
from
tell you
Warren.
what else I noticed about their team is the way you look at them and how physical, how strong they look. They've all got traps. They've all got biceps. They've all got big quads. They actually look like weightlifters. They've got that big back, the grip. You need that grip strength. So grip comes from your back also in rugby league. So when you can't make that dip and bend your back and dip under the ball, your next best thing is your grips. So they've got big backs, big wide backs on them. So they just are strangling teams. They're just defending really well and they just look strong, physically strong.
Yeah.
Look at Greg Marju. He's never been known to be real, look like a specimen, I don't think. But look at his traps, look at his arms. Go back and watch how he looks.
Yeah.
Go back and look at the body shape of their middles.
Yep.
And then let's go look at the teams that aren't doing well.
Yeah.
And see what the difference is between a physical looking team that trains hard together and a team that is, I don't want to sound like I'm fucking body shaming anyone here, but you look at the Tigers, they look soft. They don't look strong.
Yeah, okay.
They're just big bodies that are running.
Fine. I reckon Samuela looks.
He's a different beast altogether.
Yeah.
Give me another one.
Yeah. No, I can't.
I think the wingers.
Twal.
He's tall, but he's tall and
But he's a bloke who.
I'm not saying
I'm
he's
happy to say
but
has a go every week.
Who else looks strong in that team? Looks big and physical.
Yeah, no,
But you look at the wingers and the centers for fucking the Knights.
Yeah.
They looks like specimens.
Did it without Bradman Best yesterday as well, who's injured again. He just can't seem to catch a break with his injury.
He's injured.
Yeah, I know.
But Dane Gagai was good.
He was
for
until
the
he had
first
to go
20
off.
minutes.
He scored 2 tries and then had to go off for the hamstring.
Yeah.
Just put the cue in the rack. He's done. He's
Yeah, he doesn't need it. That's it.
Tag in, tag out.
The Knights, they did just enough to win, I thought, and they're making winning a bit of a habit. Winning a bit of a habit.
Yeah.
I thought they definitely played down to their opponents. The Titans were pretty ordinary. They should have been up by 30 in the first half hour, but they let the Titans back in. So I think they'd be happy to get the 2, but I think overall they'd probably be pretty disappointed with allowing 26 points.
I thought their attack looked really clunky yesterday. I thought they were all running the big overs lines. They were running each other out of space.
Yeah.
But again, like they've got a few moving parts in there at the moment, so won't hold that one against them.
No,
Well,
I think without
the Fletcher Hunt individual, try, like that kind of came out of nothing. Yeah. So it wasn't slick.
Yep.
They've got some fucking haircuts in that team.
Oh, mate, I was just about to say, if I still had a little bit of salad left, I love what he's doing with that business at the front and party at the back.
If I'm the coach, I'm making them cut it. I'm making them cut it.
Wayne Bennett was like that. Wayne Bennett.
You're just putting a target on yourself, and I don't
What,
think
with a mullet?
It's a fucking.
Have you
dirty
seen some of the
mullet, though.
fucking haircuts they all get around with these days?
I don't get it.
Should we go back to the Tigers?
I don't get it. Short back and side for me. That's it.
Well, true story. So when James Roberts, Jimmy the Jet, signed to go from the Broncos to Souths, and Wayne Bennett was the coach, and he had like a little rat's tail thing that I think he used to put in a pigtail or I don't know, whatever you call it, the plait thing. And Wayne said, mate, I'm picking you, right, to make your debut on the weekend, but I'm only picking you on one condition. The pigtail's got to go.
I love that. That's a great prerequisite.
And I think
selection.
even Keon at South, since Wayne's been there, has had a bit of a tidy up.
Toned it back a bit. Toned it down. Yeah, there's a couple of offensive ones out there.
Isn't there a barber at the Tigers? Didn't they used to have one?
No, that was Lenny Pascoe, the ex-CEO. He put a barber shop in that he could actually see the barber shop from his office.
Right.
Why he wanted to see that could well be his greatest legacy at the club. And then Richo got in there and fucking ripped it out and just turned it into a meeting room.
Good call.
Different gravy, that shot. Very different gravy. But just on the Knights, Choc, can you see them now? Look, I know they're missing Dylan Brown, and he won't be back this year. But can you see them firing a couple of shots in September, given the roster?
I think if you've got Ponga, who's the one with the offensive mullet? He was number 18, Sharp. I think if you got both of them in key positions, you can't. I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't see them because they're both. Like they both want to run the ball. Mm-hmm. They're running each other out of room to play. So one of them needs to have a chat to the other one and say, you need to dig into the line and straighten up.
Yep.
For one to do the fancy footwork and try to run around them. At the moment, they're not working well with each other, I don't think. Okay. I think that's where they were clunky and they didn't score the 30 points because they both want to run the ball. They both want to beat the person with speed and get around them. But they didn't have that straight person, that half or the 5'8", just to dig it into the line and then hit the other one out the back and let them work. They both wanted to be that ball player, ball runner.
Yep.
And I reckon it just hurt the continuity of the Newcastle Knights yesterday. So either one has to be the straighten the play up and give the other one the ball, or the other. I don't see them both working well together, no.
You must like the back rowers they got up there, though. Manu Leilua
again, look
was
how
a
big
bit,
they fucking
he
are.
was a bit quiet by what he's been doing recently, Manu Leilua, but I've been a big fan of Jermaine McEwen for a long time, and he was on fire.
They look like bloody beasts. They look like specimens.
Yeah,
Again,
and they break the line. You know what I mean?
They
run hard, they
their
bust
post-contact meters and their leg drive. Like big, you look for a good back row. You want, decent salmon on him, decent legs, but a big back. Just someone strong that's sort of built like a nugget.
Yep.
Because they're so hard to put on the ground.
Yeah.
They get on the front foot. They get you a quick play the ball because they're just so strong through their core. They can just hit you and leg drive bust through you and get that offload, or they can just hit you, get to the ground, play the ball for the next guy up the short side or back for the big shift. They're just great people to get to a point and let them either get through them or get a quick play the ball for you.
They're going to finish 5th or 6th. They'll get themselves a home semi to start. I think they'll knock off whoever they play
week one.
Yeah. But beyond that, it's going to be
the Cowboys. They might face.
Could be. But beyond that, the week that follows, they may have to go to New Zealand. They might have to go to Allianz or even Penrith. So that's a big ask without your halfback. And Dylan Lucas has been a big loss as well.
He has. I think you still got to give him enormous plaudits for what they've been able to achieve this year. I'm glad you mentioned Lucas. So they got no Dylan Brown, no Dylan Lucas, no Bradman Best. There's 3 Origin players, 3 representative players, all unavailable yesterday. And for the remainder of the season, we wait and see what the go with Best is. for them to still be able to be finding ways to win. And I'll tell you who else they're missing at the moment, and this is a big rap on the young bloke, Cody Hopwood. And there's another one coming off the bench to, I think it's Lachlan Crouch. No, Jacob Saifidi.
Yeah.
Like he's been out for a while. He's due back for just before they hit the finals. So you put Saifidi with Trey Mooney in the front row. Then with those two back rowers, right, all of a sudden, it's a very good side.
I'll tell you what, didn't the Bulldogs front rower, didn't he just...
Leo Thompson.
Didn't he say he was leaving because he wanted to win a comp? Did I hear that right? Or wanted to be more competitive?
I think so. Well, you know, look...
He probably wouldn't he wouldn't make that team now if he's still at Newcastle.
Well, we shoot straight off the hip on this show, right? So I'll tell you what happened there. I don't think I think he'd fallen out of love with Adam O'Brien being the head coach there, right? I just think they were, for whatever reason, he just felt like he needed a change. So he fucking signed with Canterbury. No. And then Adam O'Brien got speared out of Newcastle. He signed with Canterbury as the attack coach.
Because he's copping it over at the Dogs. Like, he cops it.
Yeah, I don't reckon that's entirely fair either.
No, but fuck, I'll tell you what.
Sorry, are you talking about Leo or are you talking about...
Leo, yeah. Like, you look at...
I don't think either of those... I don't think Adam O'Brien or Leo wearing the brunt of everything going wrong at Canterbury is right.
But you look at the way Trey Mooney runs the ball. You look at the way their young pack runs the ball. But they run through contact.
Yeah.
Leo will get to contact and try and stop and bump you off or beat you with a bit of footwork. They're just going, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
But they're that sorry, I've forgotten his name, the front rower for the Knights.
Mooney.
Cody Hopwood.
Saifidi.
No.
Trey Mooney.
Mate, I love
Powerball.
We'll get it right.
You're throwing darts
it's a
at the
Monday.
board.
Give me a spell. It's been a big weekend. Please leave me alone, fans. No,
I thought you said you were having a fresh
I had a good weekend at home. Don't worry about that. It was a good weekend on the couch, let me tell you. No, mate, he doesn't care. And I love his leg speed.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you need in a good front row. A bit of leg speed and just the fuck it mentality where you just go.
Offloads as well. He's got a really good offload in him, Trey Mooney.
He had that one early in the first half where he sort of went to throw it and it got punched out. But again, mate, he's got Arsenal. He's got multiple different tricks in his bag. So I love the way that he's playing.
He came from the Raiders, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
And was he a front rower there?
Oh, yeah. So he was, I mean, the challenge for Trey, he was well paid at the Raiders for a long time and playing New South Wales Cup. He got a taste of NRL, but you had Tarpanay, Papali'i, Horsburgh. Mainly it was Papa and Tarpanay, and they're representative class.
Yeah.
You know, they're two of the best front rowers in the game for a long, long time.
Look, I don't think he's a rep player, but I just think
not yet, but he's going good.
Yeah, because how old is he? 25?
He'd be mid-20s, yeah.
Well, he's still a baby in front row terms.
That's right, yeah.
You know, like he learned under two of the best front rowers in the game.
That's right. Yeah.
So, mate, if he gets a couple more little tricks up his sleeve, he could be a smoky for next year, I reckon. Especially if they go right this year and he just keeps building on where he's at.
Yep.
But I love what he does in D.
Yeah.
You watch a guy.
Because early on I noticed when he first started playing regular NRL for Newcastle starting this year, I noticed he could get caught a little bit laterally.
Yeah.
But you're seeing good
things
there?
I think that he's been there. Well, their middles aren't letting him down at the moment. You know what I mean? So I reckon he's just been a bit more fit, a bit more game time, and a bit more consistent in D. That's where, like Pacific, Dragons.
Pacifica Tonga.
Is he the one that done that cover tackle?
Absolutely,
you were talking about?
Yeah.
That you can't teach a front rower.
Yeah.
That they can watch all they want, and you cannot teach that effort in D. You got to have the want to do it.
Desire,
and the want that he has to make that cover tackle like a back rower.
Yeah.
You know, I stole your thunder there, Choc.
No. It's all effort, mate.
Yeah,
you can't coach that. You're right.
You can't coach it.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show what a good get he was, you know, because he was a little bit upset. He wasn't getting game time and was going to leave and things like that.
He asked for a release.
Yeah.
He wanted out straight away. Yeah. When Flano was still the coach, he was getting no game time at all. And
as
soon as
in the front rower, like that's a bad misread by Flano.
It is, yeah.
That's a bad misread. Is that just because you're stubborn or you're stuck in your ways that you can't see that. Look, I'll go back to, and there's a certain coach that likes certain things in this game.
Yep.
And we know that they can't change their minds. They don't see what effort in rugby league does.
Yep.
And you cannot have a better fucking player in your team than an effort player, an off-the-ball player, one that does the little things that no one sees, one that fills the space. And you know they're filling the space because Pacifica Tonga done it.
Yep.
Come across and he just got there through sheer want.
Yep.
We are looking for superstars in these games without finding the people that work fucking hard.
Yeah.
You need these players to cover for your superstars to make your team look good. But what I go back to is that player that's going to push someone across.
Yep.
You know, get there and make sure that they're pushing across. And not just himself to run past someone, but he'll take someone with him.
Yep.
And make sure they both get there. And he'll make that player better by his effort areas in the game. And we don't have enough of them anymore.
Yeah.
Just people with a bit of want and a bit of see you next Tuesday in their attitude.
See you in the end too.
Yes. A little bit of that in them just to make sure that they're getting there and they're taking, and without them even knowing it, they're making their teammates better.
Yeah, you're talking about it's actually a leadership quality is what you're alluding to.
Yeah, it is, and they're just not valued as much, and that's the shit thing about this game is you're worried about the guys that are going to score the tries, but what I look for is I'm going to go back and watch everyone's movements throughout that set, and I'm going to watch what they do off the ball. I'm going to watch their movements. I'm going to watch when they're tired, when they cross their feet over, when they don't push up that little bit extra. You know, that's what I look for. I don't look for the superstars. I'm watching the game and I'm watching how their front rowers bounce off the line after 20 minutes. I'm watching if they just take that extra 2 steps hard to get there. That's a good footy player. That's a good teammate. Is what I want in someone is a good teammate.
Yeah.
That's going to make me accountable through my efforts on the field.
When you were playing at Manly, who were those players in your side?
I'd like to think of myself. I'd like to think I was one of them. Glenn Stewart, Glenn Hall.
Yep.
It was everyone had it
Jamie
in
Lyon?
Jamie Lyon, mate. He was a phenomenal player. But we had all effort players.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
that's
you,
true,
you
actually.
watch, you go back and watch our highlights. There's players that are on the other side of the field, saving tackles on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
And like half the time I'm defending on the right when I should have been on the left.
Yep.
And Glenn's on the left and I'm on the right.
Yeah.
Just because we work for one another.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he wouldn't let me run all the way back to my side tired. He'd get there, you know, and would just defend that set.
Yep.
Then would slowly work our way back across.
Yep.
You don't see that much anymore.
No.
You know, you don't see them players coming from the opposite side of the field just to save a try. It's like everyone's sort of every man for himself now. Whereas Desi used to train us with chaos. So he'd be pulling people out and people on the ground and people weren't allowed to move. And he's pulling someone out, you're off, get out. And then you got to defend your 18 sets.
Yep.
So you need to learn, your body and your mind needs to learn that you just need to get there. So we're chasing and you get used to being in all sorts on the field, all parts of the field. So everyone could defend wherever they were for that set. No one was exposed.
Right.
Because we used to do repetition after repetition under the pump.
Yep.
But now everyone likes to stay in their own lane and not worry about it. They'll run back past 6 people to get to their edge.
Yeah.
Instead of just running back, filling the space, pushing out, and then slowly next tackle working out, they're just worried about their area. You know, whereas every one of us, and even like Kingy was you'd hear that big bastard coming and you'd tuck your arms because he just used to pop everyone's elbows. So you'd hear big Lindsay, Lindsay used to call him, there was a tennis player, Lindsay Davenport.
Oh, yeah.
We used to call him Lindsay. So big Lindsay, if you ever watch this, I've given the secret up. But I used to have double arm of double strapping. Because you just hear this big, oh, I'm coming, and you'd hear his footsteps, you're just like, fuck. And then your elbow just go pop. Oh, mate. And everyone, there's about 7 of us had it because Kingy had come in, he goes, just a bit of collateral damage. So we got him, but collateral damage, like everyone was collateral damage in our team.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, you just knew that someone was coming with effort from the inside to hurt someone. So that's what I love to see in a team, and I don't think I think Penrith are that way.
I was going to say, I'm looking at the team lists from the round that we've just concluded, right? I would say in the Penrith side, players, those effort area players, those 1% players who get there, never stop 3 steps short, turn up when they're not expected to. Liam Martin, to me, epitomises that, right? I'm looking at the Chooks, probably like a Victor Radley.
The Warriors, I think their whole forward pack, the Warriors.
I think the Warriors have a lot of them.
So who is it in the Wars? Is it Kurt Capewell? Is it Aaron Clark? Is it Mitch Barnett?
I think all of them are effort players.
Yeah.
I think
Fisher Harris, by the way, on the weekend.
Fisher Harris, I think he's an effort player.
Yeah. Weapon.
I think there's more in the Penrith team. If you want to go through them individually, we can. Leota's a massive effort player.
Yep.
And again, for a front rower to put effort in, they get there after 15 minutes. When a normal front rower is gassed and going down, Lindsay Smith. Lindsay Smith, not Collins, Lindsay Smith in it from Penrith.
Lindsay Smith. Yeah,
Lindsay Smith is a massive effort player. Watch his movements off the line when he's missed the jump. And to cover the space. Freddie Lussick, again, when you get Mitch Kenny back, he's an effort player.
Oh, yeah, he is. In spades.
Mate, Cleary's an effort player.
Yep. Absolutely. He never stops moving.
No.
Yeah.
Mate, they're all effort players. They've all got the effort in them when need to.
Yep.
And
Edwards is a massive.
He's defensive.
Yeah.
Like, that's why they win.
Yep.
You know, like, they've just got effort players. And you can be as fancy as you want, but that's not coming unless you've got effort players to fucking make them look fancy and they can play off the back of them.
Yep. 100%. Now, the Dolphins, because Cronulla lost on Saturday, that means the Dolphins are into the top 4. How are you seeing them, Choc? Do you think that, given what they've done already this season, this will be the first time that they get a taste of playing footy in September? Destiny's in their own hands now. Izzy Katoa is back with the Melbourne Ingram arm guard on, but still playing as good as ever. How do you see what they can bring to the finals?
Look, I thought it was a good old-fashioned arm wrestle, that first 60 of the game on the weekend. I thought, look, everyone look at the Manly team, and let's be honest, that should have been a bloodbath in the first 20.
Yeah.
But let's call fucking spade a spade here. Manly are depleted. They were down on manpower. That was a game for them where we just had to show a bit of tough mentality, and I thought we did.
Yep.
So I thought that the Dolphins should have been better than what they were with the team we had, but I just thought, I don't know. So I guess their destiny's in their own hands, but I don't think they're ready for it yet.
I look at the amount of talent that they've got. Like when they're on, I'll give it to you, they weren't on, I didn't think. Against, but I thought Manly also, given how depleted they were tough. They had a crack, right?
You know, and that goes to show the mentality of Foz and where we're going as a team for the next fucking 5 years or 10 years he's there. That's a mentality we want. He wants them effort players.
Yeah.
He wants the right attitude. So I believe that he's got a bit of a, but anyway, we're talking about the Dolphins. I'm going on a tangent about my beloved Seagulls. Always got to have his back.
I look at the talent that the Dolphins have got available. You got the Hammer. You got Bostock, who played Origin this year. Herbie. I'll tell you it's going to be fascinating. Not next week, the week after, Dolphins play the Chooks, right? So the Chooks have got the Tigers next Sunday, and then they got the Dolphins after that. It'd be interesting to see the headlines around Herbie because it won't go away. We floated it as early as March this year. The Roosters are going to go after Farnworth, right? They're going to go after him heavily.
I thought that it
allegedly.
How the hell?
Man, hang on, they're losing. Well, Teddy will be retired by then. It's Teddy's final season next year. Right. Connor Watson's going to PNG.
They got the Papua New Guinea bloody incentive going there. No tax.
Connor Watson's going
They got the no tax incentive going there.
Connor Watson's going to the Dragons. Who else we got in there? Cherry Evans is going to Hull.
Jeez, isn't that going to be an eye-opener for him down the bottom of England? One way in, one way out.
It's a big shift from curl to fucking all. God, love it. I love England.
He'll be able to get.
I especially love the regional areas.
There, so he'll be able to get the helicopter there. What will he get for
How
that?
good are the people? You've been over. You played for Australia a lot over there, right? How good are the people in the regional parts of England? They're so good. They're such characters.
If you can understand them, they're good.
Yeah, but that's part of the charm.
Because they got that northern accent is just so strong. You're like, huh? English. Fucking English.
Mate, Liverpool, Manchester, all those sort of joints.
Yeah. Well, it's because the further you go towards London, it's all posh.
Yes.
You know, then you start getting in when the accent starts getting real deeper and deeper and deeper. You know you're in footy territory.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a shame the game's struggling over there when you think about, that's where it actually was invented.
It is.
That's where it came from. And I'd love to see the NRL. Sorry, I'm getting off topic here, but if the NRL could buy it and revamp it and relaunch it, I think there's a market there.
Not without hope. But yeah, curl to all. Very different gravy. What were you asking? What's he getting over there?
What would he get?
He's getting fucking plenty. Is my
Yeah,
mail.
I've heard that.
I heard it's $1 million Aussie, so that's £500,000. Yeah.
Last best was Joey. Didn't he get £700,000 for 7 games or something?
Yeah, for Warrington.
It was less. I think it was even less. I think
and he took him into the finals.
So, I think he played 4
£700,000 for 7 games.
Well, he was the best player in the game at the time. One of the greatest of all time.
He would have gone over there and got on them imports, and that's why they didn't go very well.
We're leaving that outside off stump.
Yep.
Righto, that's all we got time for on Rugby League Insider today.
What a way to finish on the old imports, eh?
Oh,
Beautiful.
yeah, something for everybody. I don't know what you're talking about, Anthony. We love the greatest game of all that much. We're back to do it all again tomorrow and the day after that. Enjoy your footy. In the meantime, we'll see you again tomorrow.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.